Hi guys, I just quickly wanted to share with you my entry into the Stranded on a Deserted Island challenge with Nick the Booksmith. I will link the challenge video down below so you can see what it's about. Just a quick rundown. We had 4 givens to use and 4 chosens. So we had 8 items that we had to make this little bookie. We were all limited to using only those things as we were stranded on this island and we didn't have anything else available. So my 4 givens, we had glue. I switched to this tacky glue because the glue that I chose initially, the spout was way too broad and I wasn't able to do fine line gluing for pockets and so on, and my bookie being really small, I had fine glue work to do. Obviously I used my fingers to spread, but this was a lot easier to use. Then also we had a cutting tool. I just used these scissors. They're great for fussy cutting, although I didn't do a lot of cutting. So I mostly used this to cut little nips into the fabric, which I tore, and to cut my string, but mostly I just tore the pages and papers and so on. Then we also had our needle and thread I had lying around. I was actually going to get rid of it, and I thought, well, I can use it for this challenge because I can just cut it up and go wild with it, as I was disposing of it anyway. We recently moved and I had a lot of this packing paper, so I experimented with coffee and tea dye, a little bit of watercolor, and just made a batch that I could use for my book. Then the 4 chosens, I chose my ink and dauber. That would be 1 item, although my ink dried up, so I basically just used the little pad to distress. Then my writing utensil, I used this travel brush and acrylic paint, which is great because you can use it a little bit more dry, and then also you for writing, and you can dilute it for painting and getting different shades of brown. Then I chose fabric, just a small piece of acrylic that I had in a bag. I was also going to dispose of it because it's not a nice fabric to sew with. It's a very old acrylic, so I just use all of that that's all that's left actually from my little piece. And then I used a pull box, actually painkillers, a pull box to make my outer of my book, my cover. Okay, so to quickly show you, I made this tie, which is just loose because I didn't want to keep anything over this pretty cover that I made. So I just took a strip of the fabric, which I tore and stressed, and I painted. Basically, this journal belongs to Shanae Badenhorst, born Shanae Barnard, 1983, but as it had water damage, you can't really read that anymore. So it's just a loose tie that I can use to tie up my book because it is chunky. So the front cover, okay, so as you know, it was a pull box that I used. I covered it with my fabric. I painted a pattern on my packing paper and then covered the inside with that. So it's it's not bad. It's sturdy enough. For my little book plate, I used like all my different packing papers. I had like a sheet of each different type, so it was one box with packing paper. As it's recycled, it's not all the exact same paper, so there's a bit of almost a tissue-y type packing paper, a more craft brown paper, and then just like a real recycled paper. So I just layered them up, and I painted Tales of the Sea, which will be my little book, and distressed my fabric. Then, as I said, now on the inside, my painted packing paper, and I have 4 signatures. You can see there 4 signatures. So let's do the inside. I did a little fold out corner, which I put some distressed fabric, did some sewing, and I made a few of these little tags that I just glued a bunch of pieces of the, see if you can hear it, pieces of the packing paper together, and I just distressed it. And then I painted a whole piece of packing paper with a pattern, and I used that to decorate the rest of the journal. Some belly bands with just a piece of the packing paper that I used to clean up my work surface, where I used my work surface as a palette. Let's do that. There's another little fold corner, which I just did like that, some paper, and every time I tore my fabric, a lot of the threads from the weft would actually pull out, and I'd be left with a bunch of just loose threads. So I just used those as embellishments. More packing paper that I just distressed a bit, just to make some more. This was a fold out. Make some more journal space. And I just did this. And it says, to whom it may concern. So my thought with this book was to fill it with tales from the sea, like my favorite songs, which are sea themed or based on pirate myths and whatever. So to whom it may concern is a song about a stranded sailor who never made it home, and it is sung by a local artist. I will link it below if I can find the link. Then some tuck spots, some decoration, another tuck spot. Glued some pages together to make extra pockets because this is really chunky, so I thought to eliminate some of the chunk, I'll just glue some pages together. And then another little journaling page that I made from the packing paper, just cleaning up my work surface, picking up the paint. Let me just find my page now. There we go. Another little tuck spot, little tab. I sewed on some of them. I made my tabs by tearing some of the paper that I painted, sticking that onto fabric, and then just gluing it on the ends. Yeah, this packing paper was very thin and it tore halfway when I did the coffee stain, so I just reinforced it with some more paper. Sewing for my ruffle. So I was wondering how to do these because I've only ever sewn one ruffle with a machine, and I don't have a machine myself. And obviously, being stranded on this island, we don't have access to machines. So I found that it worked really, really easy just to slather on some glue, and then you like inchworm your fabric and you press it flat, and then when it's dry you can just sew the upstanding pieces down, and it works quite well. It looks pretty. Some embellishments, which are also tuck spots. Made little bows with my fabric, and then just like roughed up the thread. Some more embellishments, a little tab. And then some of the pages I folded over to make little pockets. And here's another just journal page that I used to clean up the paint. Oh, this one I actually wrote just, I don't know if you guys have seen Sweeney Todd, but the By the Sea song, I just wrote out the chorus lyrics over the piece that I used to clean up the paint. I think it looks pretty. Alright, so over here you can see the waves that I cut out. I experimented with cutting out a little paper doily, and then all the excess paper that I cut out I could actually use, well, not all of it, but I used a lot of them because they look like little waves. I used them as embellishments just to stress it. Okay, yeah, is another belly band. And then this one, also just a journal page. The Flying Dutchman, also by the same local artist. She's called Lorica Rauch. I will add all the links to the songs if I can find them in the comments below or in the description box. So yeah, if you can see, this is my paper doily experiment. I tried to use it as a stencil, but like I said, my ink ran out, so it didn't really work. So it's kind of distressed on the one side. There's another little, or shall I say big pocket, 2 pages stuck together. Here's another fold out corner pocket with a tag made in the same way as the other one. Embellishments, another ruffle, some more embellishments with the cut out waves and the little pocket there. Embellishments. I like how the coffee stain worked on these pages. It's quite pretty. More embellishments. The middle page here, I just tore some of it off, folded it in half, stuck the corner so you have a pocket, but you can also flip that out. Some more embellishments. Another decorated tag, which can also be a tuck spot. Another one of those cutouts left from the doily, and then made this into a pocket with the same written lyrics on this paper. Some embellishments, little belly band. There's the other side of my doily. Okay, then over here I experimented with the people that Nick did on her last video, the journal with me. But then I realized that the page at the back looks so nice, and this page is too thin to use as a pocket. So I'll still see what I will do here. Maybe I can stick a little pocket on there, just something small that I can put a little tag in. I'll still see what I'm going to do with that. Then yeah, I experimented with using my glue, the bottom, as a stamp, but the acrylic paint on the craft or packing paper didn't stick so well, so it's just a bit of a mess. I made a little tuck spot over here, and again used the thread to make an embellishment. And I think that's a little tuck spot. Maybe I can show you with my tag. There we go. So that's a little tuck spot over there. Another corner pocket that folds out with another tag. This one I thought was a good idea to put a tag on these thin pages, because they don't flip over so well. They're in page, so I put a little tab on it just to do a quick flip. And then yeah, also you can use this embellishment as a tuck spot. And another pocket over here. Oh yes, I used a tag, just like, you know, those flags, to do some what would you call it, rubbing, stenciling. And a little belly band, which I made a bit longer and then folded it over to make a tab. Beautiful coffee staining on this. This is the middle page. And then some embellishments, another ruffle, embellishments to reinforce this page, because the stitching and the glue made the page very soft and it started tearing out. Then here is another, just a little tuck spot over here. Show you, little tuck spot like that. And then the pocket, this one says Calypso, and it's also just a journal page. Calypso is one of my favorite songs from Susan Vega, so I will write the lyrics out in this card. Oh, and I just used some fabric and some paper that I painted on to make that little tabby there. Some really nice watercolor coffee stain here. Some embellishments. And then this page is like a double. Over there is a little tuck spot, and this is a bigger pocket there, which is a bit tight. Okay. A little belly band. And then I think this is the last signature. And another belly band. Here you can see more details of the page that I painted. So I painted 2 pages, which will be my end papers. I did one, and then I did this one for the embellishments. Another little pocket, and I don't think that's a tuck spot. Embellishments. Another fold out corner pocket. This one I actually just decorated on, I stuck in my fold out corner pocket, and I thought it was a bit just, just bland. So I just painted on here, and this actually inspired me to do the other page. It's the same little pattern with my tag. And then this is just a fold out piece. Embellishment, I think that's also a little tuck spot. Oh, this is it's a tag, but there's enough space for tucking. Then my middle page here, I decided to do a fold out envelope style, and just made a small little belly band to tuck that in. Some embellishments, a little paper tab, and then another little peekaboo that I experimented with. This one is a folded page glued down here with some of the threads from my fabric, and then I just painted on a little tag that you can just slip in there, and it says the sea. And then the last few pages, another little pocket, another ruffle, and then the very last page I made like a little double pocket, so you can put little special notes or things in there. And that is that for my challenge book. And I must say, this is the very first time ever doing 4 signatures. Even though this is a small book, it is the biggest one that I've done so far, having 4 signatures. Being a newbie journal maker as well, I must say I'm quite proud of this one, and it's so nice and chunky. And I really enjoyed this challenge. Thanks, Nick. Enjoy your day. Bye.